What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Kicks and Giggles podcast. On this episode, this is a pre-recorded episode. It was actually recorded on January 26th. I did this on my Twitch stream. If you guys don't know, it's all I talk about. I'm on Twitch. My name is Bad Blando. If you download the Twitch app and you just search Bad Blando, you'll find me there. Or do it on Safari if you're fucking 78 years old. I don't know how you want to do it, but I'm kind of moving away from the podcast and I'm going into the Twitch world. And the Twitch streams are a lot more fun. They're live. You get to talk to me. I get to talk to you. Sometimes I have people call in. Episodes like this, I have celebrities on them. So I plan on doing more stuff like that in the future. It's a lot more fun. This is where my focus has kind of been. And the podcast is just kind of on its back end, last couple episodes. So I'm still doing the kicks only, just the actual podcast. Kind of dead for me. So this is just an episode I'm putting up for the people that want to watch it or listen to it. This is me and SAL VULCANO from the Impractical Jokers, and he's on TV. I'm sure you know who Sal is. We talk about everything, dude. We talk about Munchies. We talk about wrestling. We talk about random food debates, like his podcast Taste Buds with Joe DeRosa. We talk about, he gives me some like advice on doing stand-up comedy in the future. It's really just like a couple of guys having fun talking about goofy shit. It's not so much of like, where are you from? Where were you born? So what's your favorite color? It's not basic shit. It's fun, and he's a friend of mine, so it's just like talking like regular, but it's recorded. So I hope you guys enjoy. There's a video version that has the chat live. That's like what people were saying during the whole interview or podcast, or whatever you want to call it. And then there is just the audio. So whatever one you want to listen to, doesn't matter. I hope you guys enjoy. I love you all, and thank you for listening. Sal, can you like say hey again, just so I could test the audio?
Yeah, for sure. What's up, guys? How you doing? Check, check.
Okay, we should be good. So yes, bro, thank you so much for doing this. Like, honestly,
Good.
like I gotta give a shout out. We gotta give a quick shout out to Bert Kreischer, because if it wasn't for Bert, I would have never even met you.
Right
Um,
on. Yeah.
and I remember there were like 2 years ago, maybe it was even 2.5, which is insane. But this year was basically a skipped year anyways. But 2 years ago, I came to the Chicago Theater and I saw you and Bert and Nate Bargatze. It was an awesome show. And then
Oh,
after the
yeah.
show,
Yeah. June 2018, 19, 19, 18.
yeah,
I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think it was. I want to say it was 18, because I think we like met in at the end of that year.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And and then I get a text after that show, and he was like, "Sal, this is Angelo. Angelo, this is Sal. He's your new sneaker plug." And I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, I didn't even believe it was a real thing. So I'm sorry to fanboy for a second, but I just got to
Oh,
say I really appreciate you being here. It means the world to me, man. Thank you.
oh, dude, you're a good dude, man. I've liked you since I met you. I'm happy to help out any way I can when I can. So
Yeah,
I
thank you.
appreciate you having me on. Even thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. You're the first guest to ever do this stream. Is this your first time doing Twitch, or like being on
Am I
Twitch?
on Twitch? Am
Yeah,
I
yeah,
on Twitch right now?
yeah, yeah.
I know. I like did a story with the Twitch link, but I'm in through Zoom, so I don't know how Twitch works really. So I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I mean, you do the, obviously everyone knows you're from Impractical Jokers, but you just started the Hey Babe podcast recently, and then the Taste Buds podcast. And
yep.
not like I'm trying to give you tips or anything, but I think that if you made a Twitch and you live streamed it, it might be something there, right?
Yeah, yeah. We were talking about doing some live streams through YouTube, but Twitch, it's all I hear about nowadays, even more than I
Oh
did
yeah.
last year or the year before. So yeah, I'm down to that. Can anyone watch it, even if you don't have a Twitch account and stuff like that? Or
Yeah, I mean, you can, like, if you go on a laptop, you can just pull it up and watch it.
that's it. Just even if you don't belong to Twitch. So the link I just posted on my stories, people click on that, it opens up the
Right.
page and seeing this right now. That's cool.
Right.
Yeah.
If they wanted to call, though, they would, like, if they wanted to comment, they would have to make an account, and then they can follow, and then they can comment. Like right now, the chat is on follower only mode, so only people that follow me can type in. That way, you don't have like random people that you don't know saying bad shit. You know?
Yeah, which is definitely going to happen no matter what
Oh
if you let
yeah,
them do it.
it's toxic, man. I mean, I can only imagine for you, like at my point, I got a few hundred followers, and there's toxic people. You got fucking a million. I can't even imagine how toxic this shit is.
Yeah, it can be rough. You got to block that noise out. I don't really even pay attention to it. I
Yeah.
kind of just post, and every once in a while when I could like answer someone, it's writing something worthwhile. But like all the nonsense, you just just let them
Yeah.
shout into a void.
I'm guessing you don't answer like DMs or any of that. When there are toxic, you just blow it off, right? Or have you ever been like responded?
No, DMs I don't even look at. I just separate it where like my family or friends can. I don't even look at it. Like there's folders I think in like the apps with like DMs, but it's just constantly coming in, and
Yeah.
it's actually hard to make heads or tails of. Like you can't answer everyone. Either I'll read it and there'll be some really nice messages, and I want to answer everyone, but I can't.
Right.
Or then there's just like weird shit or toxic shit, or like I'm just included in like these big group messages where hundreds of people are talking. It's just like, so I just don't even. But yeah, the internet, I really don't like it.
I know. I've
I mean, I
heard
like
that
it,
you.
I like it to get our like, our material out and to do the podcast and stuff. But as far as interacting, I do this thing. This new app called Community.
Yeah.
It came out like a year ago. I don't know if you know it. Basically, what they do is they'll give you a phone number. So I have this community number on my phone, and it just goes to the app. But when the app opens up, it opens up like my text messages. So it's kind of like, you can text message me, right?
Right.
So I have this number. I forget. Let me see what the number is.
Yeah. Tell the number because
Uh,
I'm sure there's people in the chat that are gonna want to hop into that.
Yeah. So okay. So here's the number. So I have this number. It's like a regular phone number, and it's 718-260-6619. So
Okay.
that thing is basically this app. Just that number texts within the app.
Right.
So I do answer people there. Actually, I
That's good.
so I'll tweet out stuff. I'm not tweet. I'll text people stuff, text message stuff that if I'm gonna put it on socials, I usually put it there first, just to
Oh,
give it like a
nice.
little bit. You know what I mean? And then I really don't post often on socials, but I'll still text people like a few times during the week,
Right.
and like it's kind of cool because it's way more direct. And then those texts I get, and they come flooding in. The only mistake people make is that they think that I'm saying text me, and then I'm not like texting them back or something. They don't
Right.
get that it's an app, and like I can sort through by like geography or anything like that. And then I can answer. So every day, like I'll try and answer, like I'll just try and text like 10, 20 people in there. Or when I text something out, I'll answer a bunch of people. So
Right.
people, I answer them, but it's like, if you're not getting an answer, it's not because I'm like seeing your text and
Yeah, I
not
know that
responding.
I've seen. I follow Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, but Gary Vaynerchuk did a similar thing where he posted his number, and then I saw like comments like crazy that were like, he doesn't fucking answer. What the fuck? And it's like, I mean, you can't really.
Yeah, that's
It's
not really what it's not really what it's about. What it's about is
yeah,
kind of like a way for me to get to you guys, like to communicate with them directly,
right.
like right to the phone, just like you don't have to check social media, this and that. And then also like I've answered hundreds of people I've texted back,
Right.
but it's just basically it's a
It's like
shot.
a
It's just
big. It's like a big group chat for everyone.
yeah, yeah, and I do answer, I do, but it would be impossible for me to answer everyone. So
Right.
you either kind of want to get these like exclusive text and updates from me and have a chance for me to answer you back. If not, then don't join it.
Do you like how like your work has changed from pre-COVID world to current COVID world? Like how has it changed? And do you like it better that way? Do you like being able to like connect with everyone socially from your phone, or do you miss like the interaction part?
Yeah, for me, it's like obviously eradicate the disease, right? But like as far as just like where it puts us, like in the house all the time, I'm like a homebody,
Yeah.
and I'm on the road so much, touring with the guys and myself, and it's like there's usually I think I'm away a third of the year usually, and that's the kind of the pace I've been keeping for like the better part of almost a decade.
Right.
So if there was a silver lining, actually, obviously barring people dying in a pandemic,
Yeah.
it was like
Fuck.
welcome downtime, because I would never take this time down. You just
Really.
don't do that. When you run with the momentum. So, you know, I just wouldn't take off a year from doing stand-up. This doesn't happen.
Yeah. Do you miss
Um,
the stand-up part in, like in specific, or do you? Because I know you could still do the podcast and you could still kind of get your bits out, but it's not the same as like practicing in front of a live audience. But What do you think?
Yeah,
Are
I
you
mean,
comfortable with
there's
it?
nothing like being on stage. There's nothing like being on stage, and I miss it. I miss like, really working out new material and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the risk of, I have, I've my older parents, my grandma, some immunocompromised family members, and like, I could get back to the road when it's safe to get back to the road.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, and I just was like, I would never force myself. This is like such extenuating circumstances that I'm like, this is the case, so just enjoy it, because otherwise I'd be away every single weekend,
Right.
or like I would maybe like 3-week bus tours on top of that. And it's just like, now I'm just having fun. Like I can't believe that I'm home on the weekends. It hasn't been the case. And like any comic will tell you, it's like
Yeah.
days don't mean anything. Like there's no Friday night and Monday night feel no different to me.
Right.
So I got a little bit of that back, because like on Saturday and Sunday, or even Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm home. So it's nice to get like normal life back for a little bit, but ultimately I got to, I can't wait till everything's back to normal so I can see my friends. And then, and touring is tough, right? Because I love traveling, but touring's not really traveling. I've seen a lot of places that maybe you get there a little early, and you can go see a town or see something, a point of interest.
Yeah.
But really, you're landing, you're getting to the hotel, you're checking in, you're eating some lunch, possibly taking a nap, possibly working on jokes,
Yeah.
getting to the venue.
I remember
then
your
doing
pictures on Instagram. It would be like out of your hotel room, and it would just be like the fucking rooftop of a building. It'd be like, Detroit, we're here, baby, and it was just like your view of like fucking whatever. I
Yeah,
miss those. I miss those, man.
I do too. I actually have probably like 20 or 30. I didn't even post. I should just post a string of them. But I just noticed that I was getting, like, every time I opened my window, it was so depressing. Like I just had terrible views.
Yeah.
And so I started taking photos of them. And then I don't know how it would be continuing at this rate, but I would say 95% of the views I have are just boiler, like other roofs, or just alleyways, or just like
I thought
construction.
I was like thinking he's gotta be like asking them, like, give me a shitty view.
Oh, no way.
It just
way.
happens
That's
like
why
that.
it's even funnier to me, because I'm not sure everyone realizes that those are legitimately my views. The odds that I get that shitty of a view every single time is hysterical to me.
Yeah, man, I gotta say, like, I've done the podcast. I did a podcast for like 100 episodes, and it was really fun. And I always would try to get people on.
Oh yeah, is it Kicks and Giggles? Is that what
Yeah,
you do?
there you go. Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, Kicks and Giggles is my podcast, and I transferred over to Twitch because I can't go out and meet people anymore and do physical things. I wanted to be more interactive. That's why I transferred to Twitch. But I've wanted to, like, this is a personal question. This is not for chat. This is not for any viewer. This is a personal thing. I've really thought about like doing stand-up in the future, or wanting to get on stage and wanting to try it. And I'm usually not that like nervous of a guy. Like, even when I meet celebrities, I get nervous. But when I talk to you, I get like a brotherly feeling. You're very open, you're welcoming, and you're easy to talk to. So like, if I get super nervous when I think about going on stage, does that mean that I just like, it's just not my fucking thing? Or did you have that and get through it? Because when I think about it, I'm like the most nervous I've ever been.
Yeah, so everyone is. It's human condition. I mean, it's not one. I would be hard pressed to find a comic that really thought nothing of getting on stage at any point ever. I mean,
Right.
Especially in the beginning, you got to overcome it. It's enough to make you want to puke sometimes. But
Literally.
it's what it is. It's, I would say, well, first of all, just get up, and you're gonna have that for a while.
Yeah.
You'll have it once you get up at least once, twice, 3, 10, 20 times. It'll get a little less, and then you'll have a terrible show, and it'll go spike, and it'll get less. But the only way to get rid of that is to get up. You're going to have that. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. You're just going to have that until you break that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even in this day and age, it's like it just kind of changes. Like it's not like I can't get nerves for a show nowadays, but I've been doing it so long, and you kind of understand the stage and what you need to do. Not that something can't go sideways, but you kind of get less away from that feeling. and you get, less. And then it's just a matter of when you're trying new material, you get those butterflies again,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
like do
then
you still get that feeling when you're
I still
going
do. I
on?
don't know if everyone does. I mean, I have low self-confidence, so I'm not sure if everyone does. I would say, I can't speak for anybody. I would think that if you don't get nervous, then you don't, then it's not, you're not feeling it,
Yeah.
like, because you want it to go well. And it always depends on the situation, the venue, who's going up before, after you, what size, it's just the situation. But I still get nervous sometimes. It's mostly when I am trying just new stuff, because but then again, you just throw that stuff in the middle and you make sure, if it doesn't go well, you either make
Yeah.
fun of it or you bring the new stuff, all that stuff,
Yeah,
but
literally.
yeah.
People are
No, you gotta
asking in the chat, they're asking if you could explain the picture behind you.
Oh shit, yeah. That is, this is where I film the podcast and the show that we do, Dinner Party on True and stuff. It's just my den.
Yeah.
And there was nothing hanging up. It was a big white wall behind me. And this painting I had wrapped. The network gave it to me as a gift in like season 4 or 5. They put all of our faces in old, famous artwork.
Yeah.
And that was like the ad campaign for that year.
Wow.
So they sent me this as a gift, and I'm like, well, I'm not the person to hang my own picture on my wall, so I never did. And then when we needed to throw something up for Dinner Party, I was like, "What? This is a funny choice. That's ridiculous. No one will take it serious." And now it's in the podcast and everything. It's a picture of me, obviously.
Yeah, I've seen that in the Hey Babe
as
show.
the girl with the pearl earring. Yeah, yeah.
Dude, I've seen. So you messaged me that one day, like a couple weeks ago, and you said like I shouted you out in the on the podcast. So then I started ripping through the episodes, and which is a fucking great show. But I didn't hear the exact part. So now I've been going back, and I started back, and now I'm at episode 3. But I've heard every single one of them. I talked to Chris DiStefano before about shoes. We never closed the deal, but he's kind of a shoe guy, right?
Yeah, he's got kicks. He's got Jordans. He's got some stuff. He's not like into it as far as like up to date on releases and drops and what's a hype shoe, what's not. And he doesn't have a collection like that, but he's a sneaker guy. That's how I was before I got into it. Right. I just like sneakers, like any old sneakers, and just like variety.
You had like 50 pairs that weren't even hype pairs. You just had like a ton of shoes, right?
Yeah, I just had like 50 pairs of sneakers, any old sneakers, just because I like the variety of it. And I like, still to this day, if I think a shoe is good, I'll get it. It doesn't have to be like some hype shoe or anything. But then like about 2 or 3 years ago, I started getting into it a little further.
Then you met me, and
I still yeah. No, I still don't even like to, when people just assign it to you, like, you're this crazy sneakerhead, because there's like some OG guys out there that like, never mind their collections, but their knowledge and stuff. And it's like me, it's something I love, that I'm continually like learning, like just continually getting educated on. So like, I hate to like, I don't even want to front, but like, I'm into it. Like I know, about like what's up. And my collection now is probably, I give away a lot. I try to not really go over like 150 pairs. I know that sounds like crazy, but like,
I don't really, no, I just keep my limit at 150 and that's it. Yeah.
Just even for storage. No, what I mean is like, the more quality shoe I get, like I'll try to put, if I get a quality one, I'll be like, let me be honest with myself. What's one that I haven't worn that is not that I had even before? Like I just, my friends, family, whatever, I just give away shoes that like, I wouldn't give away a shoe that's like, that is in the collection that I'm proud of, but so I just kind of like, if a new rule basically to not get out of control is if I buy a pair, I try to get rid of an old, but I will get to the point where I make all 50 are just great pairs. And then
and then you're going to be like, well, I guess I got to up the limit to 200. What's your favorite? Go ahead.
No, so people don't really get it. Like if you don't collect sneakers, it's just like anything else. If you collect, I don't even know what, like just clothing, like, couture, or just
people do
comics,
Funko Pop toys, action figures,
toys, comics. It's the same kind of thing, just like it happened. I'm on the road all the time. I'm bored. And like, I started watching sneaker shopping with because my boy, Joe LaPuma, works for Complex, and he had interviewed us one time, like off topic, just for Complex. Yeah. And then I started watching his show, and it all kind of came together. And then I actually went on a show and everything, but I was already into it at that. But it just was really interesting. And so like, when we're on the road touring, I'm in a hotel room on the side of the highway with nothing to do, if I'm not at the show. And so it's just something that I like kind of like got into. So people that aren't into it, when you say 150 pairs, well, it's still a lot no matter what, but they're like, they think
Oh yeah,
what is
there. I
wrong
mean,
with
there
me?
are people that have like, if you look at Chris Brown, DJ Khaled, they
Thousands.
got like fucking 4,000 pairs of
Yeah.
shoes. So yeah, no, it's definitely a good. It's a good number. I would. That's a goal number. Right now, my limit's like 25. I got some shit in the back, but
Yeah.
yeah, it is smart. And at the end of the day, I always would tell people that like I'm basically a day trader. I mean, especially 2 years ago when
Sure.
sneakers was really a thing. It's
Yeah.
not just like I'm getting a paycheck and then blowing all my fucking money. It really is an investment. There are shoes that you bought from me in 2018 that were, didn't you buy bread toast for me for 350 and now they're $700? One of those.
Yeah, I do it. I have a pair of breads, but I got those. I've bought like probably, I don't even know what now from you, maybe 20. I don't even know what I've bought from you, but
Yeah.
for sure, some of the stuff you gave me that first meeting when we met in the city that time.
Yeah.
I think I had two pairs of Prestos. I had a pair of
Oh yeah, the
Air
Para
Max.
Air Max. I,
We had a few things like that. There was some. Oh, I think I might have even gotten a Witherspoon from you. I
Yeah,
think.
you did get a Witherspoon, and yeah, yes, because I remember the picture, and I wish I could pull it up, but there's a picture of me and you that was on both of our Instagrams, and we're holding like fucking 5 pairs of shoes each, and yes, there is a Witherspoon. I thought there was a Levi, or did you trade me a Levi?
I did, yes.
Yeah,
So
okay.
that okay, I stopped doing that. But in the beginning, I was for the fun of it. I got caught up, and I was like buying and selling and trading too. Now I just buy. But I won, that was the first lottery I ever won was the black denim Levi 4.
Yeah.
And I picked up a couple of them, and I think I either traded you or you sold them, and I traded somebody else.
Yeah.
You brokered for me, whatever. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is that I have a lot of customers that they'll have shoes that are worth a lot of money and then they want to get the next release, but they don't have it. I always do trades. I honestly like doing trades because I'm going to buy more shit anyways. So if you're going to
Yeah.
just trade me, it's like that works perfectly.
Right,
But
right, right. Exactly.
I remember we met, I think the place, and sorry if I'm wrong, I think it was like Lucky's. It was a bar in New York, right?
Yeah, Lucky Jacks actually.
Lucky Jack's. Okay.
I don't, I'm making my dinner. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good.
But, I think it was kind of near Extra Butter or something like that over in the East Village.
Yeah.
I was doing stand up at this bar. I think it's called Lucky Jacks, and
Yeah, it
yeah,
sounds
we
right.
met. It was so funny. It felt like shady. Like we were on the
I
street.
know.
I was like handing you money and like
I
you
was
give me
gonna
all
say, like, because I remember the day before that. First of all, I had to fly down, and I really try to never ship shoes because, like, unless it's to a customer. But if I'm traveling, I don't want to ship all your shoes because if I get there and your shoes don't show up, now I'm fucked. You know what I mean? And you're fucked as well.
that
And
happened
then,
to you.
yeah. So I had to. I got my.
Has that's happened to you before or no?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
It has?
Yes,
Oh,
I
damn.
came down. It was actually for Crystalia. I came down to LA and I brought some shoes and I had shipped them from. It was one of the first deals I ever did, and I shipped them from my house there. And I got there, and now the shoes weren't there. And I'm fucking trying to track it, and it says delayed. And then he's texting me, "Are we meeting tomorrow?" So then I had to just go to the store, buy them, and I obviously got fucked on the price. I had to just go to a store, buy them, and be like, "Yeah, I'm the plug, man." And I just took a loss, but I got the point of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the day, it's not really about making money when it comes to like higher profile people. It's about these experiences, getting to talk to you, because I'm a fan of you before all this. I've been a fan of you since 2014, 2015. So eventually, like, I get to pick the people that I'm a fan of, sell them shoes, help you guys out, and then be your plug. But then I get to like make a relationship out of it. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, right on.
But I wanted to go back to the Lucky Jacks thing because now I'm packing my shoes. I had 2 suitcases and I was staying there for like 4 days. I had like 2 outfits because I had to jam all my shit in the front pocket. And the suitcases were just Sal's shoes, every single, like 5 pairs of shoes in each bag. And now I took the Uber and I come out with these big bags of shoes and there's like 5 in each bag. And now I'm going downstairs to like watch your guys' stand-up shows, you and Roy Wood Jr. and I don't remember who else, someone else.
Sure.
And you guys were the main
Roy,
ones. And yeah, and I came down there, and then everyone's staring at me like, and I didn't really put two and two together when I was like, wait, I got fucking like a ton of shoes, a ton of money right now. And I just like ran I went to the bathroom and I hid them in the bathroom, and I just stood at the door like a fucking guard because I was like, there's no way someone's coming in this bathroom without me knowing what's going on. So I had to be on like shoe patrol. But after that, did you think it was sketchy? Like, did you feel weird like meeting me in an alley, right? Like, how did you feel about that? Because I apologize if I made it sketchy.
I didn't feel weird meeting you, but being in the Lower East Side at like midnight, just with a bunch of shoes on the street, and like exchanging. Did we do cash, or did I do PayPal or something with you? Because if we were holding cash, then I probably definitely was like, yo, we got to do this right away.
Yeah, I know. I think I want to say you PayPal'd. I think you PayPal'd.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that would have been too much to do, and I remember I got out of the Uber and I was like, okay, fucking put these here. And then after, it felt so weird because I weighed my bags when I was going home, and they're like, is there anything in this? And I was like, no, it's a long story. Just fucking let me get home. So, but yeah, man. So another thing I wanted to talk to you about is I'm kind of a germaphobe myself, and I know that people label you as a germaphobe, but I don't you're not crazy germaphobe, are you?
Nah, I mean, no, like not like those people that like have to live in a bubble and disinfect everything and have like, it's just like, people like to put you in a box. We on the show, it is definitely one of the things that like on Impractical Jokers, it is one of the things that they hold against me.
Yeah, and they blow it up for sure.
Well, I definitely, in relation to them, am pretty bad. And don't get me wrong, I don't know if I'm the textbook like definition that I have like a medical issue.
Yeah.
But I don't have a good immune system to begin with, I don't think. And then constantly traveling and filming, like my schedule's really tough. So if I get sick, and sometimes it'll take me like, no joke, dude, like a common cold I'll have for like 6 weeks. I can't shake it. So I do everything at all costs not to get it in the first place, because then it takes me, and there's nothing worse than like having to be on camera or having to be on stage for like a weekend or a tour, and getting up every night and having to exert all that energy and feeling like all you want to do is pass out and go, so I kind of like just really like I'm guarded, with any of that. Plus I just think people now look at it now with COVID, it's like my nightmare. But
I know,
I don't know, I think people are pretty gross, like the subway, the planes, no one respects that shit, no one touches the seat.
And then there's the people that go on the planes or on the trains with no fucking socks on. They're holding on to the thing with both hands and then eating fucking ice cream. I can't. I can't do it.
When I used to bartend, I had like a Costco sized hand sanitizer behind the bar. That was like 2003 to like 2011. I was known for it. Like, and everyone used to tell me like, you're destroying your own immune system. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. No, I'm not.
I know. Yeah. Because then there's the other, like the people that aren't like us that say like, well, how is your body ever going to build if you don't like touch some gross shit once in a while? But it's like, do I have to risk like, if I put my hand on a handrail on a train, or if I touch something on a plane and now I have to sit there for an hour without being able to clean, now that hour I want to fucking die, because like now I'm just sitting there like, I can't fucking do shit. And I feel like I'm stuck. So if it's gotta be like
subway, holding stuff in the subway.
In New York, I can't imagine.
Subway stuff's terrible. Like you see the shit that goes on the subway. First of all, New York is covered in piss and shit. It's just covered in it.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you know what I mean? So like I mean, it's everywhere. Like, don't sit on the sidewalk. Even like a bench, like it's just everywhere. But you gotta just like, if you're gonna hold one of those things, I'm the guy who's like going like this, trying to like surf, like balance on the subway, because I don't want to hold the rail.
Oh yeah, I get that for sure, dude. I think that what's something that you do personally that's a germaphobe thing, because for me, and I learned this from my dad. So I guess shout out to my dad, but also this is weird as shit. Maybe it's weird. Maybe if you do this, then we're gonna be like next level friends. When
Okay,
I go
let's
to a
see.
hotel, when I'm traveling, I have a thing that.
Watch out for that remote. Watch out for that remote control,
Oh
man.
well, yeah, that's going in a Ziploc bag, of course. But we both know that we do that. But I put towels, like I'll call for extra towels, and then I'll put towels from the shower to the bed. So, and I put them on the ground. That way, when I get out of the shower, I'm not like touching my feet on the ground and then getting in bed and just like all the germs are coming up to my, you know what I mean?
Oh boy, yeah, you're in deep, man. You're in deep. I don't like to walk barefoot.
Yeah, you just put slippers on or
I'll
something.
and then I won't wear the socks into the bed. So that's my version of that.
Yeah.
Like I'll keep socks on and then in bed socks come off. Like I won't,
yeah.
because that floor is rough as well. But that remote is really bad. Yeah, a lot of times now you put this in my head.
Now you're like,
I'll
fuck,
let,
I've stepped on so many carpets. Holy shit.
I'll let you know. I do always walk in and check that the bathroom is clean,
Yeah.
100%. Like I
Do you
do
look
like
under
a
the
site.
bed or any of that or no?
You can't look under the bed unless it's like a 5-star hotel or something. You can't look under the bed.
Have you ever looked under the bed and saw some shit?
You see, well, I've seen just dirt, like but dust balls and shit like that,
Yeah.
and I don't even like to look in the crack under the headboard behind the pillow, like in the back where like the outlets are. Like sometimes like I gotta plug in something
Yeah.
and the outlet is like, and you gotta like reach down there.
Oh God.
I'm always like, oh God, this is.
Yeah. What do you do?
I'll do it, but like you see stuff, and then that night I don't really sleep well because I feel like right there is like just dirt and just dust and shit.
It's almost worse because if you see it, then you know it's fucking real.
Yeah, I don't look. You know what I like? Sometimes the bed is a platform bed and the thing goes right down to the carpet. So there is no underneath the bed.
Right. Yeah.
That happens a lot, which is I can appreciate. I hate when you look under and you just see like right through underneath the bed. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah. Have you ever been like traveling on the road and like you gotta stop at just like a motel because of weather or anything, and then you're like trapped? Or do you just not let that happen?
10 years ago, when we started really traveling in earnest together with the guys, we weren't as, we weren't as successful as we were now. And, we booked travel by the best deal, and it didn't matter where it was as long as it was like, and we stayed in some shitholes, bro. Like,
Really?
I mean, like we walked into a place one time and Q walked in. I said, I don't want to stay in this place. I'll never forget it. It was a Red Roof Inn. And I was like, yo, I don't want to stay in this place. Like, I don't know. I just have a bad feeling. Yeah. And they're like, nah, don't worry. I go, all right, I'm going to walk in. I'll do a once over of the room. If there's anything suspect, I'm leaving. You guys can stay. I'll go across the highway to the Holiday Inn Express over there, which nothing against Holiday Inn, but like,
it's not even that much of it like an upgrade, right?
But even Holiday Inn, I think, was an upgrade from Red Roof.
Red Roof, yeah.
Look, and I'm sure there's red roofs that are fine, but we walked in and we found used crack pipes on the freaking floor. Q walked in and found a used crack pipe on the floor. So not only was there someone doing crack there, but the cleaning people didn't even do a good enough job to remove the crack pipe. So then tell me how much they're scrubbing the toilets if they just pass over the crack pipe. So
what the fuck?
So then that's I remember one time I told this story before, but I was staying we checked in late and I was in Fort Wayne. Okay. And we checked in late to this. I don't remember the name of the hotel, motel, whatever it was. And it was no vacancy except for the rooms we had. So we had to take them. And I go up to my room, I open the door, and the room was carpeted, but not like a nice carpet, like a carpet that like, not even a commercial carpet. It was like a house carpet, and it was stained badly. And there was a hole like this big in the sheetrock that just wasn't patched up.
And I
was like,
what?
In the wall, in the sheetrock. Oh. Like there was just a hole in the wall like that big. And I was like, yo, there's a fucking hole in the wall. So I went over, I looked, I'm like, who knows what's going to crawl out of that? And I called down and I said, I'd like to get another room. And they said, we have no other rooms. You guys checked the link. That's it. So I said, I'm going to suck it up. So I took like a towel and I plugged the hole because I didn't want to crawl none of that. And then I went to lay down and there's this like, you ever hear the noise in pipes when someone like either puts on a shower, maybe in an apartment building or a hotel, and it's kind of like, or even in your house, the pipes squeak and squeal because like there's water running through them. So there was this like loud noise like, hee, and I was like, oh, someone's like taking a shower, right? So I was like, it'll go away eventually. So I'm laying there and I just hear ending. Yeah, no. So it's just like, right? And I'm like, all right. So then I'm like, let me call down again. So I call down and I say, hey, I thought it was someone taking a shower, but like there's this loud screeching noise coming from the pipes for like the last 90 minutes. And the lady's like, what room are you in? And I told her the room. And then her response was, she goes, oh yeah, that room does that. So it's like, I guess there's a pipe that just always does that, and a bunch of rooms are always going to be affected by that.
I guess say sick. Thanks.
It's probably the last room they assigned, and there was no rooms left. We got there like midnight, and so they put me in that room. I bet you they avoid it at all costs normally, but yeah, man. So I've been in some real shitholes. Now it's like just to just deal with being on the road that much. Like I got advice somewhere along the line of like pay the extra money. And get a real nice place, because the last thing you want is to be so dead tired or not feeling well or exhausted from travel and then open the hotel room and then you get no relief there.
Yeah.
So they said you always
pipe you're stuck with.
Exactly. God. So it's like, all right, so now I go for like a place that has nice linens and stuff. So at least when I get there, I'm like, okay, this is my little castle for the next day or week or whatever it is.
Have you had to cancel a show before and then like just stay in your hotel and just kind of like take the L? Or what happens if you have to cancel and you're out and you like move? Does that not happen for you or what?
Meaning what do I do if a show falls through for any reason?
Yeah. Because what if your show falls through and then you're at a shitty place? You just kind of book the next flight and get the fuck home?
Yeah, knock on wood, it's happened in my whole career, maybe 2 or 3 times, and it was because I was ill.
Yeah.
So I've been on stage sick. Like I won't take off unless I can't stand. So I've been on stage where I've been like, give me 1 second. I've walked to the side, thrown up in a garbage pail, and come back out.
Oh, really?
Because other than that, it's canceled the show. And then at that point in our career, that was with the guys. And at that point in our career, we just broke into theaters and we were in Rockford, Illinois. I remember it was like it might have even been my birthday, and it was like up to that point, it was the largest audience we ever played. It was 2,300, and I remember coming out, and they went nuts. And anytime you graduate a little bit to a little bit more, you always are like taken back at like the amount, and that was a big amount, and so I knew I couldn't cancel, and I was just walking off stage and throwing up the whole night. But
I can't even imagine the pressure of like all these people on top of feeling sick and on top of doing stand-up. Like that's a lot.
It's wild. It's just like sometimes your adrenaline will get you through it, and then as soon as you step off stage, you almost collapse.
Yeah.
But there was like two or three times where even so, did it ever happen to me solo? Solo would be rough because sometimes if I was sick, the other 3 guys would go on without me. I think I was sick once, maybe twice, and we all have been there about 1 time in 10 years, which is not bad.
Yeah, no.
So that'll show you how much we actually push. But yeah, I guess I would stay. There's nowhere else because technically I'll probably be on a plane or a bus the next morning to go to the next place. So there's nowhere I could go, Right. So I'll just order a bunch of friggin' soup and just watch Seinfeld or something like that.
Just take the fucking L. My chat is saying that they all appreciate the Brody Lee shirt that you got on.
Oh yeah, you can see that shit. Yeah. Shout out to Brody and God bless him and his family. I don't know if people. I guess people, if they know him, they know who he is. But we lost him suddenly. This past month, and he was a friend of mine, and I'm still getting over it, just like a lot of other people. But
yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. R.I.P. Let's get some RIPs in the chat for Brody Lee. Have you always been a wrestling fan, or is this like a new thing for you? Because I feel like I know it's been like the past few years I've seen you. I saw that on the Hey Babe. That outfit was fucking awesome, by the way, and I think you should wear it all the time. It's the shorts with the it's with the pink thing. I think it's great. But have you always been since you were a kid, or is this kind of new for you?
Yeah, I was like a wrestling fan as a kid, like anyone else.
Yeah,
WWF, like
same.
1985 to maybe like 92 ish, something like that. And then I got out of it, and I peripherally watched during the Attitude Era with friends that watched, but I wasn't like I was as a kid. It was like it was real. They were heroes. That
Yeah.
whole kid experience. And then I went a long time without it. I got into because ECW came out, and that was like changed the game. And I would watch then, but not like crazy. And then like about 4 or 5 years ago, someone gave me tickets to a SummerSlam, and I went. And from that night, I just got way back into it again.
Oh wow.
And but
Do you
I will say
remember?
though,
Do you remember who like the main event was of that one?
yeah, I remember. Speaking of Brody, he was Luke Harper, and I remember at this particular SummerSlam, I believe. I think maybe do you know wrestling or
Yeah, yeah. I've been a
okay?
wrestling fan.
So I
Yeah.
think Bray Wyatt was fighting the Undertaker at it. Was
Okay.
wrestling Undertaker,
And that's when he would
and I
walk
think
out with them in the back, like Luke Harper and the other
yeah,
guy
and
in
I
the
think
masks.
they actually carried him out. I believe.
Oh wow.
They like something happened where I think they defeated him, and then they walked him out like back out like, and
Holy
I
shit.
that was the SummerSlam. It was like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I don't know. I just the next night I went to Raw.
Yeah,
I was like I had to. I went and scalped tickets to Raw the next night,
definitely.
and then I was there those 2 nights, like, and they were really good seats. Like the person who gave me the tickets had really good seats at SummerSlam, and then coincidentally, someone was trying to get rid of the tickets. They were front row the next night at Raw.
Oh shit. And you grabbed
I
them?
think I might have been friends with Paige at the time, or someone, and then I went backstage and I kind of like met a bunch of wrestlers. I met a bunch of staff, and they knew the show, and they were just very kind to me. And then immediately I formed a relationship with WWE, and then like they take care of us and like have us come to shows whenever we want. And I've been
That's awesome.
trying really real hard to work on a storyline with them for many years.
Oh
And it
wow.
would like, I was asking, and then we finally got them to say yes a few times, and we were tossing some ideas. It never came to fruition, but the product AEW now too is like, the thing is like, I love wrestling in general, and the AEW product, I love it so much. It's so goddamn good, and they're in our family on the network,
Yeah.
so like we have an in with them, and a lot of those guys are my friends too, and so we've been talking now about doing something with them too,
Maybe
and
a collaboration with
I would do something
AEW.
with everyone if I could get the chance,
Yeah. Yeah, do you? I mean, because when I watch wrestling, I'm not as huge into it now as I used to be. I'm not anywhere near, but I was big when it was like Edge was in his prime, when John Cena was in his prime, when those Undertaker wasn't too old and like still was making it happen and didn't look like he was struggling to make it happen. But
Yeah.
then I watched like because I
That was
did like I kind of caught like The Rock and Stone Cold towards the end of WWF, but I was like I'm pretty young, so I didn't get a lot of it. But
how old are
then
you? You like 20, young 20s?
yeah, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I probably watched in like 2000, I want to say like 2005, 2008, like Randy Orton versus John Cena was the big thing. But then recently, it's been like fucking Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns, Roman Reigns, and I haven't been, I'm not huge on that. But then I watched, I think it was called Double or Nothing. It was like AEW's first pay-per-view, and it was fucking phenomenal. And it reminded me of that like Attitude Era. Like it reminded me they were smoking cigarettes, they were flipping each other off, fucking slamming each other
Oh,
on needles.
it's they're just going for it, and they're doing it like the way they want to do it, which is I love, is like seemingly less politics, is less
Yeah.
like barrier to do the kind of creativity you want to do, which I think people are responding to. But I will say NXT as well has a wonderful product too, and their NXT is just like light. I mean, I remember when I finally got around to watching NXT, because there's so much wrestling going on, it's hard to keep track. But
Right.
NXT is just awesome too. Shout out to NXT. And I will say though, during this pandemic, you'd think I would be able to watch more, but I've actually been on a little bit of a wrestling drought, because it's just like because this is what happens to me, right? So like I get real busy, or there's other things that priorities, and I miss But once I miss like a few weeks, I hate going right back in.
Yeah.
I want to go where I left off, and then you start digging this hole for
Oh,
yourself
I'm the
because then
same
it's like,
way,
all right,
dude.
I'll go back and watch, from the day I missed. Now all of a sudden I've missed though 2 months of wrestling, so
Yeah.
now I got to go back and watch, 8 times 3 for just Raw is 24 hours of wrestling. Then you got SmackDown, then you got AEW, then you got NXT, and it's
It's
like
a lot.
it's the same reason I don't watch what's that show with the dragons that was like really big on HBO.
What, like
Um,
Game of Thrones or some shit
yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
yeah. Like
Okay.
everyone's like, you gotta watch it. I'm like, I can't. I'm too far behind.
Yeah.
Like I can't. It's too much pressure. I don't
And
want
then
that much
everyone's
to.
talking. I mean, especially in wrestling, because like it'll be like a month ago, and John Cena was like a heel, and like everyone fucking hates him, and then he's feuding with Randy Orton, and then you come in a month later, and like he's not even on anymore. He's left, and it's like he's making a return soon. I feel like I miss a week of wrestling, and it feels like it's a year.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true. I mean, you know what it is. If you start following it to like behind the scenes,
yeah,
like just kind of the business of wrestling and the blogs and things like that. For me, I gained a new appreciation in the last few years than I had as a kid because I'm watching it on two different levels now. I'm
right,
watching the storylines, and then I'm
yeah,
also interested in the backstage. So it pays off twice. And people that like don't really get wrestling or they don't understand that it's like we all get it, we're all in on it. It's just
yeah,
like this crazy world. I like escapism.
yeah,
That's like even my shows, my comedy. It's really silly stuff. It's lighthearted stuff. I just like fooling around and like all this stuff. I think wrestling is like hysterical. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I mean, besides the fact that they're great athletes, I just love I just like escapism. So stuff like that for me is just fun.
Are you into any video games? I feel like I never really heard you talk about too many video games. Are you into that, or is that not your thing? Because for me,
It seems like
and for a lot of people on Twitch, video games is like that's our fucking escape. You got a shitty day,
yeah.
girl dumped you, fucking COVID. It's like, all right, we'll just go into this fake ass world and have a great time.
Yeah, you'd think I would be. I am, and I was my whole life, but not really. And what I mean by that is like, even with the sneakers and the wrestling, I've only gotten into that the last few years. Like I need like things to keep, like as I'm just work more and more, and I'm away from home more and more. I just need things to, just for fun and just things to actually just make me, you know, just entertain me. But video games is like I've had every system since Coleco, right? So
Oh wow,
I've had Coleco, I had Intellivision, actually had Atari before that, and then regular Nintendo, Genesis, and then
Dreamcast, maybe one of those.
PlayStation 2, and then I went from PlayStation 2 to Xbox One. That's how I wait. No, no, no. I did the GameCube and then the Wii. I've done every Nintendo.
Yeah,
But you know what it is? It's like I like basic games, man. I just wish they would. I don't have the time. Like it's like if I have to push 9 fingers and do like some type of combination to pass a ball. I don't want it.
yeah,
The graphics are insane. I'd rather watch my two friends play that are sick at it and just
yeah.
watch it. Or I appeal to any software maker to just put just make a dumbed down version of a NBA 2K21, right? Like, fine, you could do it realistic, and in order to just move your right foot, you got to move. But
Right.
I think they should do like an ABC as well, in
Yeah.
case you want to shoot pass and you want to run fast. Like, give me
Yeah.
it. Just
I
give me
guess
that.
that's true
I'll play.
because they used to have like, wasn't Atari like a fucking joystick and a button?
Yeah, I mean, it's like go back to Genesis, or even
Yeah.
like PlayStation. I could do 4 buttons and two on time, but it's just like I just want to turn a game on. Now it's like loading for an hour. I got to download
Oh
the
yeah.
friggin' add-ons, and then you got to put the disc in, and then now it loads, and now I hit enter, and it's like, all right, now I got to fucking create a guy with the team. By the time I play, I just want a quick play real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I started playing the old systems again.
Oh
So
really?
like I'll play like the older systems, or like I can't I can't play some of these games like that are just like they expect you to play for like 80 hours to beat it. It's just I'd rather watch people do that, but I can't. I can't.
Yeah. My
I
my
still get this.
generation, my generation kind of fucked gaming up because I feel like your generation was like, we play games to have fun. And now kids are fucking drenched in sweat, fucking 40 hours every week playing the game. And they're getting to a point where they master like everything. And then like every time there's a next, like they master it, and then they make money off of it and it's a career, which is great. But I feel bad, I guess, for the people like you that like, dude, I just want to play a fucking game. Like skip all
there's
the
plenty of old
bullshit.
systems to me. I imagine if I was young during this time, I'd be right where they are. I mean,
Yeah.
it's insane that people are making a living
Oh yeah.
playing video games. It's wild. I love it. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot. Like I think they should make like versions that like you could just jump into and play real easy, you know?
Yeah, they have, and they do like they have some versions that's like you could play with these controls, but then if you're the one guy that plays with the old controls,
Right.
playing the
Right.
new, like you're just gonna get shit on.
Yeah.
And it's
Dude,
just,
I was watching a couple days ago, actually after the football games on Sunday, I threw on. I was like, my cousin was over. And we were watching YouTube videos, and we put on these nerd rage videos. He
oh
called them,
God,
and
yeah,
it's like a lot of it was like people at video game tournaments,
yeah,
just
getting up
flipping
and
out at like
slamming their shit.
breaking everything. It's just like it's insane. It's so funny.
What's something that like have you ever had a moment like that? Not maybe with video games, but what's a time where you were like so fucking pissed? I feel like there's got to be something with Impractical Jokers where you were like
Oh,
so pissed where you just raged the fuck out.
not really. I
No?
mean, I don't know. It takes a lot for me to rage. I mean, for Jokers, I was upset one time with our crew because I thought that the message, like, there was this one bit where we had these child actors that were supposed to come up to us in a park and shoot us with a water gun,
Yeah.
and they kept shooting the people, like the civilians next to me, and like we can't do that. You can't just go up to a civilian on his lunch break or her lunch break in like in business attire
Yeah.
and shoot them with a gun. And I thought that like they were not telling the kid the right thing to do. And so I got upset, and it turned out they were doing that on purpose to get me angry. Like it was part of the bit.
it was
So
planned.
like sometimes people think I got really mad there, but I didn't really. But really, no, not really. I mean, I don't know what a road rage once or twice, but like not really. I'm not that guy, you know.
Would you be able to share? And it's no hard feelings if you can't. Would you be able to share the road rage story?
I used to do the bit on stage actually, if I could even remember it. I had my car got totaled and I needed a car right away. And I had a buddy who had a hoopty, if you've ever seen it, just this beat up junker.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thanks. And I was like paying him for like 6 months or a year to use it.
Yeah.
Just before like I got another car or whatever. I was driving in that car, and this car was, I mean, it was, I don't know if you know this, but like older cars, like when they got old and disgusting, this like the kind of the interior material on the roof would just
Peel
actually
off.
fall.
Yeah.
It would fall.
Oh,
and,
like
hang,
oh yeah. Okay.
you know, and people would like thumbtack it or cut it or glue it, but it would just hang down. So there was a tear in that, so that the ceiling was hanging down, the ashtray was out, there was holes in the seats. It was like it smelled like cigarettes, and I would drive this car around. And I remember one time a guy cut me off, and he was with his girlfriend in the car, and then we pulled up to the same light together, and he said something to me, and I'm like, you know, like I was like, yeah, whatever, and he goes, yeah, your car's a piece of shit. And I was like, what? This isn't even my car, you know, like,
Yeah.
like okay, whatever. My car is a piece of shit. Like, I don't even own this car. It's even my car. And then I'm like, we're like going back and forth yelling. And then the girlfriend recognized me. And so we had already been like yelling at each other for like 30 seconds at this red light, like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then the girlfriend goes, are you Sal from Practical Jokers? And I was like, oh God. And I was like, yeah.
Did you
And then
laugh
the
at
guy-
that point, or were you like fucking annoyed?
What?
Did you laugh at that point when she
No,
recognized
so
you?
like I was like kind of like, oh God, like so I'm like, yeah, thinking we're gonna laugh at it or whatever, and I'm gonna drive away or roll my window back up. Then the guy, after I said that, he leans over and he goes, oh yeah, your show's a piece of shit.
Oh, holy
Which
shit!
in hindsight to me is really funny, actually.
Yeah.
I give him kudos. And I think I ended up like just screaming at him about, not because I was offended, but just like, fine, like you won't checkmate me. I like checkmate you.
Yeah,
And
literally. Go
that was
ahead.
like kind of that. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not really.
I mean, it
I
worked
don't
out
really.
if you were able to use that for. I mean, it sounds like a great bit to use for stand up. It's a
I'm not
shame that
doing
I
it
missed
justice.
it.
I haven't done the bit in years. I'm not doing it justice.
Yeah.
But I remember working that bit to a place where it was one of my better bits at that time.
I remember that the bit that you did with the emails and the pants, which is fucking hilarious, where you sent a picture wearing her pants, and
Yeah.
that like as a, just wondering back to my dream of doing stand up one day. I've thought about doing like something where I bring something visual because in my mind it makes it a little bit like less attention on me and like more attention on this thing that I'm doing, and it kind of like I don't know, it makes it a little bit softer for me. Did you feel like did that inspiration come when you did that bit? Like did you think
Sure.
the same
So
way?
yeah, no, I didn't. But the reason that bit even came about was my buddy Ari Shafir had a show called "This Is Not Happening" on Comedy Central,
Yeah.
and it was a storytelling show about like like holy shit, this is not happening to me type of deal. And he was like, do you have like I'd love to have you on. Do you have anything? And so I went through all these things that had me up until that point. It wasn't a bit. I was thinking about making it a bit.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what? Let me workshop this just for your storytelling show. So in essence, there, I think I needed that visual aid because it was like part of the big punches of the show for me to show
Oh
myself in
yeah.
these women's pants.
Pictures are
Um,
fucking hilarious.
and I had to do that in clubs because I had to practice it and get to the stage time. So I was going into clubs with these
The big
things.
boards,
And
right? And you were just flipping
yeah,
through them.
I think people are fine with it because I say this is a story. I'm working this bit up for a storytelling show. Bear with me. Audiences are totally cool like that. Like even when I do new material and I'll open up a notebook on stage, or I'm like, this is gonna be some new stuff, and you just kind of be transparent with them. So
Yeah.
it didn't help that I had a prop, but what helped was I knew the story. Like
Right.
so, in essence, like maybe telling a story might be a better way for you to get used to the stage
Right.
than just writing straight stand-up material or straight jokes, because you can include jokes and different points of view in a story, and it can still be stand-up, but you're not leaving yourself to hang out there. I mean, you're gonna have to eventually get there, but what I like to do is um you know, if the story's true, the story, what
Yeah.
happened
And you
to you,
know it's
right?
good. You have
You
confidence in
you
it.
have a funny story on
Yeah.
your hands, and you know how the story went. You know the beginning, the middle, and the end. So if you get up on stage, part of in the beginning, what I recall is you're nervous that you're not going to remember the punchlines, remember the setups, remember all your material, and so you're trying to remember jokes you wrote. But if you get up there in the beginning telling a story, there's no remembering because it happened to you.
Right.
You're
You
not
know
trying to
it.
remember something, it. And
Yeah.
so part of the beginning is getting a little bit of confidence on stage, and confidence comes with being assured of yourself. So if you're getting up there and you're talking about something that already happened to you, you're kind of giving yourself a little bit of a head start
Right.
because you'll have the natural confidence to tell a story that happened to you, just like you would to me right now. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And then I would
Oh,
couple that with something that you have a strong opinion about or that you're passionate about. If you have a real strong opinion, that will come out right away too, and that will at least give you confidence, and it will appear as confidence to them.
right.
So those are little tricks when people tell me they're just about to get up, and I would say you should start with something that you have a real strong opinion on, or
Okay.
a story that happened to you, so that when you get up there you can go into autopilot and not worry about all the other things that are trying to come into your head because you're so nervous.
Right. Yeah, no, that's great advice. I do my like part of my stream is that like on Thursdays I do story time and then we have people call in. And I mean, there's plenty of stories that I've told, even goofy ones like meeting Sal Vulcano in a fucking alley. Like there are things that I've done that's kind of I have great stories that guess I didn't really think to take a story and like use that as the bit. So that's fucking awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, might
And
not work.
what'd you say?
I said it might not work.
Yeah, no, I mean it's more direction than I had before. Because yeah, the truth is like if I were to just write down a bunch of bits, I feel like it would really, especially someone that's fucking not confident on stage, if I am like I got this and this and I do one joke and then the audience doesn't like it, I can just picture like I'm fucked. Like I could picture that like slowly breaking me
All right.
down.
Here's why you're not fucked. First of all, the first time you're doing this is going to be at Mike's. And you're gonna go up there for between 2 and 5 minutes, really. I mean, so you only got to get enough to get you 3 minutes in. And also, you should know at Mike's, no one's really laughing anyway.
Right.
It's a lot of other comics. It's just a place for you to get on stage, say the stuff over and over, get some repetition in, and get more comfortable. So don't be concerned necessarily. I mean, you want laughs, but don't be concerned with getting on stage immediately and being like, I'm not getting laugh after laugh. And it's not going to work that way.
That's true.
And just also address the elephant, right? So if you say a joke and it doesn't work, maybe acknowledge it and say, well, that didn't work. And I was hoping for this or that, or and then just talk about it. Like, workshop the joke with the audience, let them into it, because if something happens and you don't acknowledge it, you're building up this tension in the room that doesn't really need to exist, because they're like, oh, he messed up. You want to make everyone feel comfortable. That's another trick. Like, if you can make the people watching you feel comfortable and they don't feel nervous for you, because you're going to look nervous. You're going to maybe be nervous. Yeah. But if you can break that tension, just break the tension anytime you can, because then you're saying, I'm self-aware. And when you're self-aware, it's a little bit better than if they're watching up there and they just see you flailing you're drowning. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, that you're the person that I wanted to ask, because I know that some other people, if you ask them about stand-up, they don't take it as serious. When I did Bert Kreischer's podcast, and the reason why I started my own podcast, I knew that I wanted to do stand-up, but I was kind of being a pussy, wasn't ready. And then I knew that I had stories to tell, but I didn't know what to tell them. I did Bert Kreischer's podcast randomly when I sold him shoes. And then after that, he was like, I just had Ron Funches on, and dude, you're almost better than Ron Funches on the mic. And we were laughing. And then he's like, you should start a fucking podcast. And then I was like, all right, I got it. That was the sign. So I appreciate that. And I know that we're getting on your time a little bit. We're getting close to an hour. So I have the next two bits. I want to, because you do that show Taste Buds with Joe DeRosa, which is a great fucking podcast. For any of the foodies that are watching, by the way, Twitch, Taste Buds on YouTube, it's a fucking hilarious podcast. And if you're a foodie, it's genuinely interesting, because through quarantine, I've been cooking. That's all I do. And I've kind of gotten turned on to edibles. So eating snacks is a great thing for me. And when there was the episode that you did that was called Combos versus Doritos. And I'm a fucking combos guy. And it seems like you're a combos guy too. I fucking hate Doritos. So
I don't even dislike Doritos, but if they're going head to get against combos, I've had enough Doritos in my life. I want the combos.
I feel like Doritos is great if you're under 8 years old, but once you become a man at 18, it's fucking combos time. So
I know. It's funny that we're like, listen, if you're a foodie, watch this, and we're like, combos.
I know, it's like fucking. I got some questions.
It's not so much that we're foodies, yeah.
No, I guess it's not that we're foodies, but we're passionate about what we snack on. I guess.
Sure.
We're passionate people that like to get a little high and eat some shit sometimes. So I got some questions here, and it doesn't have to be like a speed round, but I just want to get your answers here. So, in your opinion, what's the best flavor Pop-Tart? First one.
S'mores.
S'mores. Okay, not hot fudge sundae.
So here's the thing. I'm not a Pop-Tart guy. Oh wow, I didn't even think of Pop-Tarts, dude. I bet you if DeRosa likes Pop-Tarts, we'll have a battle on our hands, because I didn't grow up a Pop-Tart guy. Okay. So I didn't eat them. So the only ones I don't like, I didn't like the fruit ones were a little too sweet for me. And then I tried the I guess the s'mores one, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good, but I don't get them a lot. So maybe I'm missing out. And you know what I've never done? I've never put them in a toaster either.
You've never put a Pop-Tart in a toaster in your fucking life?
No, I just eat them out of the package. I know,
dude. Yeah, see, okay, here, I'm all for the toaster move. There are people that put them in the freezer.
I can't believe I haven't. Now that I'm saying, I'm shocking myself.
Yeah, next pair of shoes I send you, I'm sending you fucking Pop-Tarts, bro. I'm just putting them in the box. But the thing is that, especially with the s'mores one, the toaster makes it, because the toaster melts the chocolate and then it makes it hot.
Saying it out loud, I sound like an idiot. I'm like, how have I not thrown that in the toaster? You know what it was? I think I didn't own a toaster.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair.
No, but you got to heat that shit up though.
Yeah,
So wait,
I
so
burn
if you
them. I burn
yeah,
them so they're
okay.
crunchy.
I love my bacon, my toast,
Yeah.
I love everything burnt. I love the taste of burnt.
Dude, if you
But
burn a fucking s'mores Pop Tart, you'll be in heaven.
okay, so that's what I'll do. But I ask you, if I'm gonna try one, you say to try which one did you say?
I say hot fudge sundae.
Okay, I think I've only ever, no joke, dude. I think maybe a bite but the only one I've ever bought and actually had is s'mores. I didn't even know hot fudge sundae like exists. I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
the product.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
So
I'm
next,
gonna try, I'm gonna get it, and I'll text you and let you know how it was.
okay, perfect. Next
Yeah.
one. Do you like? I don't know if you're an eggs guy, but scrambled or sunny side up?
I like eggs. I got to be in the mood, but if I had to choose one, it's scrambled is how I grew up. So
Okay, same.
sunny side up was more like as I was like I became older. It's like what you order in a diner or something. But as a kid, it's scramble all the way.
Okay. Yeah, and people, I don't know what people call it, over easy, anything like that. Scrambled is my answer as well.
I will say too, it's like you could do like an over easy egg. You do it one way and it tastes one way. But I've had many different types of the way that people approach a scrambled egg. And I
Yeah.
feel like if they do it really good, if it's really light and fluffy and like
Yeah.
buttery, it could be better than just that other type of
Yeah, I don't like when it's
egg.
like hard and fucking rubbery. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of like shitty scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
Okay, how about ranch on pizza?
No way in the world.
Okay. That's one that people, I think as Italians we're like told that like that's not a fucking thing we do, but there are a
Oh,
lot
don't
of
get me wrong,
people.
man. I mean, sometimes when you're taking those edibles, anything goes, but
It's true.
it just sounds gross to me. And I'm not a huge fan of ranch to begin with.
Okay.
But people do that, right? But
Oh
how
yeah.
did how did that start though?
I think it's
Is it like a Domino's thing? Like they used to give ranch to dip or
I think
something?
they would get like I think it came from yeah like fucking Pizza Hut like would start giving the
Yeah.
box of pizza and then like the breadsticks and then the sauce in one thing. And there was a guy
Yeah.
on edibles that was probably like, dude, the fucking ranch, this belongs.
Don't get me wrong. I'm sure if if
It just
you're just the highest,
overpowers it though.
if you're high as shit and you dip a piece of pizza into some ranch, I'm sure I'll be fine. It doesn't sound like something I outwardly do.
Okay, that's fair. Now, when it comes to wings, are you a flats or a drumsticks guy?
Drumsticks.
Really?
Yeah,
Fuck.
you mean like the like yeah, I mean, because the other one you gotta kind of get in between the two, like
But
the
if you okay, maybe okay. You know what? If you take the thing like the flat, it's got like
and you
two
just
bones like this.
yeah, you go like this, right? You go like that and you pull it
Well,
out,
there's
or you
people
break
that
it.
do that, but I break it in half and then I eat it like clean, like two bites. I just break it in half.
Okay, I don't want to break the bones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I don't want to snap the chicken. Like we already fucked the chicken up big time.
Okay.
Like the chicken
Okay.
is done. The chicken was taken from his family. His head was cut off. He was defeathered. He got dipped in fucking buffalo sauce,
That's
thrown in a
true.
fryer. I don't want to do that. I don't want to snap a bone in
Okay.
order to have a treat.
Okay, that's
I'm fine. Like the drumstick is like it's like just eat around it, like almost like a corn on the cob, and then you just throw it away.
okay. It's kind
Like
of like
the
me.
less
It's kind of getting disrespectful when you start fucking the thing up.
it's not necessarily disrespectful so much as like I don't know if I don't love breaking a bone, like it's
That's
just
fair.
snapping a bone in half. I'm like,
Okay.
oh.
That's fair. Okay,
I
so
can,
we got one
I'm
that we're
not
not.
saying I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying for me, I don't
No,
want to
it makes
snap
sense.
bones right before I throw it into my mouth.
Okay, so now this is a big one for my chat because I've talked about this in my chat before. Oreos or Chips Ahoy?
Oh yeah, that was episode 1 of Taste Buds. I'm Oreos all the way on that.
Okay. Oh wow, I fucking missed that one. Your Oreos over
Yeah.
over Chips Ahoy. Wow.
I'll tell you what, when I was
Fuck.
young, Chips Ahoy it was a contender. It
Yeah.
was. And I think we talk about this on the podcast, but most products have fallen off. They found ways to cut corners. They're smaller. The ingredients aren't as strong as good. And if you put an Oreo or a Chips Ahoy from 20, 30, or 40 years ago next to one from right now, it is different. So
Really?
I just think Chips Ahoy for me is inconsistent. I get some that are undercooked sometimes. They don't have enough chips in them. They're really small now.
Okay.
It tastes like, to me, it tastes like processed, like it doesn't really taste like. Don't get me wrong, a chocolate chip cookie, in general, is the best. It's still
Oh, I
number
agree.
one. But
I agree.
Chips Ahoy from Nabisco, I'm taking an Oreo. I think an Oreo still tastes truer to what it was, and the Oreo nothing tastes like an Oreo. It's
Yeah.
like in a league of its own, and I love dunking them. I just think Oreo is a stronger choice. You
What's your
could
favorite? What's your favorite flavor of an Oreo? Like when they do those like peanut butter, mint, the reverse colorway. Do you get into any of that or no?
I'll try those out of curiosity, but I'm straight
Okay.
original till I die.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think
I
the
don't mind
peanut
like a
butter are
mega
better.
stuff. With a peanut butter, I've had the peanut butter. It's good. It's good. I've had a few of them, but they get crazy. There was like a Swedish fish one.
Oh yeah.
Like there was.
Fuck, that's too much for me.
Oh, you know what I did? I ordered. I found out that in like I think it's like Japan or something like that. Uh, there's like no joke. There's like 50 flavors of Kit Kats. Did you know this?
No.
Yeah. So I went on eBay just for the hell of it, and I ordered like this package of like Kit Kats, and they come in like the 2-stick ones that are like it's like 50 flavors, and they're everything from like green tea to like
Oh,
pomegranate to mint chocolate chip. I know, but I was intrigued, and
are
I
they
got them.
good?
And nah, most of them again the original. Just
Yeah,
something about the
you
original.
can't beat the
Yeah.
originals. That's fair. What's a weird food combination that you do? Something that's maybe not
Dude,
as popular.
so okay, so I don't know if this is weird, but it's been a couple of years since I've had it. But growing up, my dad used to make peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
Okay.
Have you ever had that? I do
It's
that. Well, I will say this: I dunk my cookies in any single drink I have. I do not discriminate. So people
Gatorade?
often tell, "Oh God, yeah, oh yeah."
Wait,
Like
what? Okay,
I'll,
whoa.
I'll get way more gross. All right, so I love to dunk cookies no matter what. I don't care. So I've been told by many people that I'm batshit crazy because I'll dunk it in soda. I'll dunk it in water. I don't care. I'll dunk it in water. I love dunking just below milk. I dunk in orange juice. I love it.
Wait, is this before the edible or after?
No, this is my whole life, dude. I dunk cookies in it. I've dunked, this is the kicker. I dunk my cookies in Theraflu because like I
What the
mean when I'm sick.
fuck?
No, dude, I don't know. I don't know. It's a hot lemony
Wow.
drink. I don't give a shit. I can't taste anyway. I got the flu. If I'm gonna even try to throw down an Oreo, I go right in there. There's something about like, well, tea and coffee, right? You've
Yeah.
done that. Yeah, okay, okay.
Yeah, coffee. Yeah, actually think chocolate chip cookies and coffee, it makes like this toffee vibe and it's fucking great.
Dude, have you ever dunked? This is an old school Italian thing. I don't know, I don't know if it's permeated,
Like
everywhere, but
biscotti or whatever it's called.
no, but old school Italians will butter their Italian bread and dip that in the coffee and eat dip their buttered Italian bread in
Oh,
coffee. That's big.
that's too old for me. Holy
No, let me tell you something right now. If you think it sounds gross, I promise you, it's if you like coffee and you
yeah.
like bread and butter, it's not bad. It's just all of those things together. It's
What is
good.
it? What is it like butterscotch flavor? Like I'm trying to think of like
No, it just tastes like all those things like in one shot. But it's like the
wow.
bread soaks it and then it melts the butter a little bit. So if you put a pat of butter on there, like the butter starts to melt, but then you still got the crunch from that outer layer of the Italian bread if you don't dunk too long. And it's just like it's really good because you get the buttery and then you get the crunch and you get the coffee. It's good. You should
Jeez.
try it.
I had a buddy that you said when you said peanut butter and bananas. I used to have a friend, and he was kind of like I don't. He was like he lived on a farm. He would ride horses. He had that vibe going, and he would eat peanut butter and mayonnaise in a sandwich.
Nah, hell no, hell no.
Yeah, isn't that fucked up?
That is, I've never heard of that, and I've heard of like we've all heard of the gross stuff. But
Yeah.
I even got to be in the mood for mayo. But I'll put it on. But you just that's the grossest thing I think I've ever heard. I don't even understand. I don't even. My brain is trying to
I
wrap. I
know.
can't even.
And the
You mean
texture is
like
like creamy and like fucking like you get no like bounce to the fucking creaminess of peanut butter like the jelly's cold or the jelly's
oh,
sweet. This is
it
like
sounds
I
disgusting.
know. I'm gonna clip this and send it to him and be like, dude, fuck you, man. Because
You should oh my god, I don't even know if I would try that as a goof like I don't even think I would try that because then you can't get that taste. Once you taste that, you'll know you'll be like,
I
oh,
know.
I don't want to be able to call up what it tastes like in the future. Like I don't even
Literally,
want to
yeah.
try.
It's just I'm out. Now I have a thing. I don't know if this is from being Italian, but obviously you're from New York, and I'm sure you prefer New York pizza over Italian or over Chicago, right?
Good pizza is good pizza, but yeah, I mean, I'm biased to what I grew up on, but I mean,
Okay.
I've had a deep dish that blew my balls off, you know?
Do you eat? Because I think that when it comes to thin crust, like New York takes the cake all the way. Chicago's thin crust is okay, but New York, you just can't beat it. And New York's pizza is like $2 at most places, and it still beats it. But I eat, when it comes to like deep dish or anything like that, I use a fork and a knife, and all my friends call me a pussy. And what do you think of using a fork? Do you use a fork and a knife when it comes to deep dish, or do you eat it with your hands?
With deep dish, I give a pass. I think you have it however you want to have it. I mean,
Okay.
it's a meal. I mean, it's this thick. I mean, I don't. I'm not saying I would or wouldn't, but I wouldn't fault anyone for doing it. It depends. Honestly, if I'm at a place and I have something on that I don't want to get ruined or anything, I might hit it with the fork and knife. That was a
Okay.
Seinfeld episode, I think, where they were
Oh, I'm
like eating
sure it was.
Snickers.
Yeah, it's just because it's. I mean, it's cleaner at the end of the day, but it's also like I actually
Well, let
think
me
it
ask you
tastes
this.
better. What's up?
I don't know. I I thought it was a New York thing. Maybe it's not, but we fold the pizza here.
Yeah.
Do you guys fold it there? I know you can't fold a deep dish, but like
Yeah, I mean, from what I know, whenever I
you
order,
eat it like this, like as a triangle, or when you
no,
get
I'm
pizza.
I'm a big fan of the fold. I actually sometimes when I would go to New York and it would be like late at night and I was starving, I would get two pieces and I would put them just like this, like dry sides up, okay? But then I learned dude, this is gonna blow your fucking
I
mind,
never did
okay?
that.
If you fold it, because everyone folds it dry side up, right? Like so your hand is touching the crust and then you eat it. But when you put it in your mouth, if you think about it, the crust is touching your tongue first. If you fold,
Yeah,
it's fucking messy. But if you got a minute and you don't have white pants on or anything, fold it the other way and then have the
yeah.
cheese touch your tongue first. And it's like you've never had pizza before.
I'm gonna try that the next time I have pizza. The only thing I'm thinking is you fold the other way, the sauce and the cheese and if there's any oil,
It's
you're gonna be
sloppy.
screwed.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. Yeah, it's
You
sloppy.
got to
But
do it. You got to assess the pie first, and
yeah,
maybe as long as it's not like right out of the oven, if it's been sitting there, maybe you
yeah.
just get it warm, just a little warm. That'll work then. Out of
Yeah,
the
it's
oven, I
not
think
like
you're in trouble.
yeah, it is great though. And here we get like square cut when it comes to thin crust. You have to tell them like do it pie cut for most places that I've ordered from at least. Whereas I feel like I've never seen a little square, like you can't even fold the little piece of shit slices they give you in Chicago. In New York, they give you something this big. You have
Yeah,
to make it like to fit in your mouth.
yeah. Yo,
So
I want pizza so bad right now.
I know this is making me want pizza too. Okay, this is the last food question. Then we got a couple Q&A, like little fan questions, and then we could wrap it up. So this is a big one for me. But when you think of like the goat cookies, it's like Oreo, Chips Ahoy. That's like what most people know as, or like know as like the big ones. But what do you think of like Fig Newtons or Nutter Butters?
Sure. Nutter butters are great. I think they're solid. I think they're probably. I'm trying to think of what other peanut butter. What's their competitor as far as peanut butter cookie goes? But no, I like a Nutter Butter, man. I like peanut butter and I like to dunk. So Nutter Butter for me is great. And then Fig Newton gets. I'll tell you what. If I'm in the mood for a Fig Newton,
Yeah,
uh, then I'm like, this is delicious.
yeah,
If I am not in the mood for a Fig Newton, I'm like, I don't understand how I've ever eaten this. That's a real. The Fig Newton is like an anomaly to me
yeah.
because sometimes I'm like, this is no way, and then sometimes I'm like, this is great. I don't buy Fig Newtons. I don't think I've ever purchased a Fig Newton,
Wow.
yet I've had them, which is odd.
They don't get any
I
love.
guess
Fig Newtons get no fucking respect in the game. And they really don't have a competitor because what other cookie like is doing the
what,
fruit soft
is it like?
vibe?
What is it? What's in that thing? Is it like prune? What is
Yeah,
in
it's
that?
like yeah, one of the the
Yeah.
fruits that nobody really gives a fuck about. They found a way to make it happen, but
but it stood the test of time. And I tell you what, Fig Newton, I'll give props to, like I gave props to the combo. I don't see them advertised yet. They still are in the
Yeah.
game. So to me, that means something.
And how the combos, how you said that the combos, you get like the chip and the dip in one. You kind of get
Yeah.
the same thing with the Fig Newton because it's not a dry thing. Like it's got the jelly, whatever the fuck. I'm sure the jelly's made out of some like animal intestines or some shit, but it's got a refreshing thing to it. It's not dry.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's straight up like what is it like? It's almost like a streusel or something. I think it's is it prune? I don't know what's in
I
it.
thought it was like dates or something. It's one of those.
Oh,
Prune,
it
maybe
might
it's
be
dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no,
So
I can think of Fig Newton, but it's funny because I only ever have a Fig Newton if where I am has it. Like I've never purchased them. I don't know. Do you
yeah.
buy them?
So when I do buy them, I do kind of like try to hide a little bit because I'm embarrassed. Um,
You I don't know many 22-year-olds that eat Fig Newtons. That's
Dude,
pretty
I'm a
funny.
rare breed. I'm telling you right now. But the thing is, when I get high, if I take an edible, even if I'm not, when I get high, I don't get like blasted out of my mind. I literally take like 2.5 to 5 milligrams, and because I'm a lightweight and I keep it lightweight. I don't like dabs. I don't like smoking weed. I'm edibles only. But I have a drawer that I have like my snacks in, and when I have the munchies, it's like every fucking flavor you could imagine I want, and I make sure I make it happen. I go from like combos to Nutter Butters to making eggs to fucking chocolate milk to. Do you
Tell me
get like
this right
that?
now, right? How great is it like when you're high, right? And the thing you're eating at the time you're eating it and chewing it, you're like, yo, this is the best thing ever, right? And then you're eyeing the next thing.
I
And you're
know.
like, this tastes so good. Do I have another one of these or do I move on to the next thing? And you're like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna move from Nutter Butter to this next, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna move to the Fig Newton, right? So then you push the Nutter Butter aside, then you eat a Fig Newton, and then immediately you're like, fuck the Nutter Butter, man. The Fig Newton where it's at. It's like whatever you're eating in that moment
I
is the
know.
best thing. Yeah, I
And
know.
it's weird because it's the best thing, but it's just not like quite good enough to last. Like one Nutter Butter, two Nutter Butters puts me over. I actually dunk Nutter Butters in chocolate milk because it gives me like a Reese's vibe. But then like two of those, and I'm like, I hit the sweet, like the sweet bar is good. But now I need something salty, and now I need
Yes.
lifesavers is my like ending note. It's always my ending because lifesavers gives you like the refreshing fruit on your and you're not like
Right.
taking like not like peanut butter and then you have a pasty ending
Yeah, you
note.
have a whole system. You know what's good? If you get a lifesaver and you kind of just suck on it slowly,
That's what I
then you
do.
can maybe
That's what I
do a
do.
little damage control so
Yeah.
you're not shoving just tons more stuff in your mouth. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I do go to salty. And you know what it is too? It's almost like I'm eating like I have to eat all my food groups like it's healthy. I'm like, I have my sweet. Like if I'm high, I'm like, I have my sweet. I'm like, am I going pretzel, potato chip? Where am I going for myself?
I
I do the
know.
same thing. Now I
That's
don't feel as
awesome.
bad.
That's awesome that I have someone that relates to me because I have friends that they like when they get high, they just crush a bag of chips and then they go to bed, but they eat the whole fucking thing. Whereas like you, I think you're literally the first person that relates to me where it's just like we need a fucking smorgasbord to cover our needs.
I'm all about variety. Even when I go to a restaurant or when I order food from like delivery,
Yeah,
I'll get like 5 apps instead of an entree because I don't want
yeah,
to commit to. I want to try. Like I either want to try like what this restaurant has to offer as much as I can in one shot, so I because like if I order like 5 or 6 things from a restaurant,
right.
like not that I'm gonna eat them all. Usually, if I'm with my girlfriend or friends or whatever, I like because then I could be like, oh, all 5 of these 6 of these things are good. I come back to this place, you know.
Yeah, that's a good
You know,
system.
yeah, but if one thing's good and like 4 other things suck, then I know this place isn't going to be consistent.
And yeah, you don't call them back. Okay, so that's the end of the food thing, and I hope you really do capitalize on that Pop Tart idea because I would love to see a Pop Tart episode because there are people that stand by fruit flavored Pop Tarts and they don't budge, and then there's the dessert guys that we love s'mores or the hot fudge sundae like that. That'll be a great episode.
I'm texting DeRosa right now. How do you feel about Pop Tarts? Oh
Perfect.
yeah, for you guys, for your listeners or whatever, like the Taste Buds podcast. You can find it on YouTube or on wherever you get podcasts. And then I do another one called Hey Babe, which is just more of just an open-ended comedy podcast. Again, both of those you could find the full videos for on we put them on a channel that we call the No Press Network on YouTube.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So you can get them there or wherever you get podcasts. But I texted, so Joe DeRosa is my buddy who does Taste Buds with me, and I just texted him, how do you feel about Pop-Tarts? He usually gets back to me right away. I'm interested to see what he feels.
Yeah, I gotta
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you let me ask you something.
Okay.
If he's into Pop-Tarts and can defend them, what do you think? What product do you think would be the right product to go up against Pop-Tarts?
Like Pop-Tarts versus something?
Yeah, like we're about to do like a Devil Dog versus a Twinkie, I think.
Okay.
He's like, sometimes we just did peanut butter and jelly sandwich versus grilled cheese.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It doesn't have to be exact, but like it just depends, So like I'm thinking, what would face a Pop-Tart? Would it be a breakfast treat or just a pastry?
I was kind of thinking I don't know why my mind goes to like cupcakes, because with cupcakes, I guess it's not the same. Whereas a cupcake could be freshly baked, but when I think of like store bought shit that's sweet, cupcakes got frosting, so does the Pop-Tart. They both have like the vanilla core or like the vanilla like tart part. And then sometimes a cupcake could be filled with shit, and so is a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
People are saying toaster strudels versus Pop-Tarts. That I guess could be another one.
Oh, is that basically is the same thing then, huh? It's just
toaster strudel is like not like the gourmet version, but that's like it's I don't know. It's you can make it for breakfast. I would eat it at night. But
I think Pop-Tarts though. The reason I wouldn't do that is because I think Pop-Tarts would openly demolish toaster strudels, and we want to make it a game because I think Pop-Tarts are the more popular one. I'm thinking maybe something from the Entenmann's line maybe would go up against a Pop-Tart nicely.
Maybe
Entenmann?
like those mini donuts or something.
Yeah, like maybe the mini chocolate donuts or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, Entenmann's
because Pop-Tarts cover so many different flavors. You could maybe just run it against like a brand or like a Hostess in general or Pop-Tarts in general, something like that.
Because we were gonna do Entenmann's against each other, but it might be better to just take Entenmann's out and put it against Pop-Tarts.
But you can also do the Pop-Tarts against each other as well because there's so fucking many.
Yeah. Okay.
So
there's something to chew on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we got 3 final questions. These should be quick. Akif asks, what's one way you got your name out there before Impractical Jokers? What did you do to get your name out there?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, before Jokers, my name wasn't out there in that way, but like our comedy troupe was. So the guys that I make Jokers with, we've known each other for 31 years. We met in 1990 in high school.
Right.
And in 1999, those guys and I started a comedy troupe together called the Tenderloins. And so from 99 until the show aired in 2011, that's how we did comedy as the Tenderloins. And even now it's in the opening credits of the show.
Right.
So that was more of what we did. And we rode the boom of, believe it or not, the 2006 initial boom of YouTube and MySpace. And we used to only perform live doing sketch and some improv. And then we decided to start filming sketches and putting them up on MySpace and YouTube. And somebody there liked us and put us on the homepage. And I think back then the homepage was static. So if you went to the homepage and I went to the homepage, it wouldn't be populated by what we watch, which it's curated now. Right. Back then we'd see the same video. So when someone, the powers that be, when they took your video and put you on there, they made that choice. And in one afternoon, you can get 1 million, like 500,000 views because it was everyone's homepage. So we did that, and then somebody put us up, and that's how we first got our name out there. Like,
wow,
just putting stuff online.
Jeez, I didn't even. It's like crazy because now we got Instagram, Snapchat, and like you just forget about all those when you're like suffocated by all this new shit.
I think if we would have made the YouTube channel in 2006 when we first uploaded our videos and stuck with that to right now, I might be a freaking, the way that I hear that like people's the views they get now and the money they make from YouTube now.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
There's not a lot of, to be fair though, there's not a lot of OGs that really started and wrote it out though.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of new, like Jake Paul is the biggest celebrity on which unfortunately I'm not a big fan of him, but Jake Paul is one of the biggest guys on there, and he just started like a handful of years ago. It's not like he was there since '06. But yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of OGs, but it's like I think I agree with your guys' content for sure. You probably could have made the show based off of just made the show on YouTube.
Yeah. I think back then there was the big there was a few accounts. One was like a kid with a high pitched voice. I think his name was Fred. It was the weirdest. It was for kids, I think. But one was this thing called Smosh, which I also think was just a couple of guys doing sketch comedy. Yeah, I don't know if they're still on. I have no idea. I just remember that from back then. I don't know. I lost your audio. There it is. Nope.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, I was just saying that like Fred and Smosh, they have their OGs, but they're not as popular now as where they used to be. Like nobody really like talks about, oh my God, that Fred video. Whereas like Jake Paul trends like every other month. Next one, Isabella asks, how did you and the rest of the Jokers come up with the idea for the show? Did you expect it to do so well? I know the answer to this, but for the viewers, this is one that I'm sure they're dying to hear.
Yeah, no, we never expected it to do so well at all. I mean, you hope, but no. So this is all a big surprise and a nice bonus. We were already doing comedy, and our internet video, speaking of, got us on a couple of shows that got us an agent. And then once we had an agent, we had an in to go and pitch shows.
Right.
And so he would set up these meetings for us to go and pitch TV shows. And so once we had that in, then we shifted our focus to never mind, the internet videos, let's create shows. So that kind of switched our gears. And then the funny story about Jokers, which I've told many times, but this particular time we had pitch meetings set up. Well, they call them general meetings, right? So you can pitch something if you want, but also it's an introduction. It's kind of like not really like, it's kind of a BS meeting, but we wanted to go in there and pitch something. We didn't have any ideas yet. So we had the pitch meetings booked before any ideas. And we just got together for lunch, and we got together for lunch one day, and we're like, just thought of anything we could. And we came up with the idea for Jokers at lunch. And then the four of us took our cell phones, we went into Manhattan, and we filmed like 4 or 5 bits hidden. Like
those are coming on like Patreon, right?
It was I might put it up on the Patreon. Yeah. And so like, we would just be like, all right, let's try to do this. Let's try to go in to Sephora in Times Square and speak a fake language and just see what happens. Or let's go into Victoria's Secret and get lingerie for ourselves. Or, I think we went to a midnight, it was a Tyler Perry movie. I forget what the movie was, but we had to just get up and announce and just apologize for shitting ourselves. Like, it was very like, the seeds of the show. And we went and we taped it, and then we went into the pitch meeting with the idea and the cell phone footage that we thought of and shot like 4 days earlier.
Literally.
And they bought it. I mean, we had a lot of failed stuff before that.
Yeah.
Failed pitches, failed pilots for the couple of years that we were grinding. But it was really funny that we had the meeting before the show idea. And so, no, we would have never guessed that this would happen.
It's interesting that sometimes you like overthink something and you like get in love with the idea of what could happen with it. Whereas sometimes that spur of the moment idea could be even better or funnier, or clearly gets picked up. Like sometimes overthinking can hurt you more than help you.
Yeah, you never really know. I thought we had other ideas that were as good or better or what have you. And, you never know what's going to go. Just hope. You just got to keep doing it. You keep creating opportunity and hope something sticks.
Yeah, definitely. For all the viewers out there, keep grinding. Don't give up. The last question is from some younger fans, Talia, Ayla, and Sophia. They ask, in your opinion, which was the worst punishment that you ever had to face on Impractical Jokers?
Oh my God.
Maybe the Jaden Smiths, or no?
Pretty bad. It's a permanent one. That is pretty bad. Yeah. Because a lot of them I could go at this point after 10 seasons, 9 seasons, it's hundreds. So it's like, how is one worse than the other? But for those who don't know, for one of them, I got a tattoo, and I wasn't allowed to approve it or look at it until it was done.
Right.
And it turned out that my buddy Joe put a very accurate portrait of Jaden Smith on my thigh, and I got to live with that. I met him afterward down the road, and I showed him it. I didn't know him, and he was like, "What?" He must have thought I was a psychopath.
Yeah.
And then like it was just at Comic Con, and then like years passed, and we were filming the movie, and in the movie, I got a follow up on my other thigh. Of he was 15 on my left thigh, and he's 21 on my right thigh, and he was cool enough to make a cameo in the movie, and then surprise me, and then come pose for the right thigh. So the right thigh, he posed for it. So that's kind of cool.
It's like specifically for your tattoo.
He posed for it. It's like wild.
Wow.
And so that's cool. But I am an adult man with Jaden Smith on different ages on both of my thighs. So like that is a tough one. So yeah, thanks for giving me that layup, because that is probably the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like them. I was just saying, in my opinion, that's the most permanent one. There could be things that you did that were embarrassing in the moment, but I feel like a permanent one kind of takes the cake.
Yeah, sometimes I have little PTSD flashbacks from certain ones, but honestly, every day when I get into the shower, I'm reminded of the Smith family.
You guys are on your last season now?
No, actually, season 4 begins airing February 4th. I'm sorry, season 9 begins airing February 4th, and we're still filming 9, and we just signed for 10 with an option for 11. So, yeah, so that's good. And then tonight at like 10:30, the Misery Index, which is the game show we do, season 3 starts tonight. So, yeah, and we just we're hoping to get more of that. We're hoping to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait. Everybody in the chat, go watch Sal again tonight. Check out the Taste Buds podcast with Joe DeRosa. Check out Hey Babe with Chris DiStefano. Hey Babe is literally, and I don't just say this because I'm talking to you right now. It has literally made me laugh my fucking ass off. Like your story, and Chris DiStefano, he's a great storyteller as well, but you guys just mesh so well, and it's that same feeling of like, it's like you're listening to your brothers talk. It's not, you guys don't give off like an elitist vibe, or it's not things that we can't relate to. You tell a story about hitting a cat in your car. It's goofy and it's fun, and it's sometimes when I would listen to podcasts, it would be like, how can I relate? This guy's talking about his Ferrari that he fucking broke down. And like, I feel like you guys make it very like friendly and like easy to get along with.
Yeah, that's the reason we did it. And both of the guys I do the podcast with are my friends for years.
Right.
And Chris and I toured together for like a couple of years. And, so many flights and hotels and weekends just telling each other stories and laughing. So we were like, we should just do a podcast, because all of our conversations all weekend were like, this should be a podcast. So we finally just did it. Yeah. And then same thing with my buddy Joe DeRosa. We're always arguing about food. We're hanging out all the time. Joe's a great contrarian, and we argue almost about anything. The thing that's great about Joe is he will argue a point to no end.
He's firm.
And so any point really, but we found that it was happening a lot with food. And then we would crack ourselves up, and we said maybe other people will enjoy it. So yeah, I think what you're picking up there is that, we're just real friends, and it's just us bullshitting.
That's the best way to do it. I appreciate you coming on, Sal, more than I could even fucking explain. Thank you so much. And I hope I got your guys. I've texted them. I got them a couple pairs of shoes, so we'll be following up with that as well.
Actually, Nick Turner texted me, no joke, like maybe an hour ago, right before I got on, randomly saying, would you want to go on his podcast to do the follow-up? Do I think that you would want to do that? And I was like, I think you would. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah. I told him you were a comedy fan, a podcast fan, and a sneaker fan. So it's like, it hits all three. I said so he's probably going to reach out to you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you again, buddy. And I'll talk to you soon. Yeah. Thank you again. Let's get some hearts in the chat. Show some love for Sal. We got a special Sal emote too. So drop that if you're subscribed. Thank you again, Sal. I'll talk to you soon, brother.
You got it, brother.
Take care, man.
You got it. You too.
All right, folks. Well, I got to open this fucking screen up so I could get just me here. What do we think? What do we think, guys? Sorry that the screen is a little fucked up, but whatever. Did you guys enjoy the show? Did you guys have fun? Was it good? Sorry if I was a little bit nervous. We got W, you are the best. That was awesome. Let's go, baby. That was badass. Man, I can't even believe that I was able to do that. I can't believe it. I felt extremely calm. I felt extremely confident. Usually, when I meet these people, I'm like, do you know what's your favorite color, Sal? Like, usually I get so nervous, but with him, it's so easy to just talk and chill, and we're like, it was just a normal conversation. You know, I always overthink these things when I have someone on the podcast or talk to someone. I write down question, question, question. And this time I just wrote down a few like jots, some bullet points. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to talk to him how I would talk to him. Make it a personal conversation. Ask him things that I want to ask, because I know you guys like to know, where is he from? Where was he born? Blah, blah, blah. But you guys could find those online. Like, you could type in, where was Sal born? Fucking Staten Island. Like, those are easy. I like to get the weird shit about peanut butter fucking Oreos and like just goofy shit, because it's fun, about stand up, giving some inspiration. If any one of you guys out there is trying to do stand up one day or wants to make something happen with a YouTube show, I like those questions because it inspires you guys. It inspires, like, they're fun, and they're fun. That was awesome. You were so chill. You are fucking awesome. Derek, thank you. Sneaker Bread, Kuya, thank you. Golden Bee, that was such a chill stream. It was great. Angelo, you're the fucking bomb. Thank you guys. You don't have to say that, but I appreciate all of you.